Ghost of Gaza, Butcher of Khan Yunis, Bin Laden of Hamas, Israel's most wanted. Yahya Sinwar has been elusive, evading IDF for years. His killing marks the end of an era. From prison to power, Sinwar was the mastermind behind October 7th attack. That started the deadly war in Gaza. Sinwar's crucial role in Gaza ceasefire. What happens to the agreement now that he's gone? Will his death lead to a change in Israel's war strategy in Gaza? The sudden death of Yahya Sinwar, Hamas's notorious leader and mastermind behind the brutal October 7th attacks, marks a critical turning point in Israel's war with Hamas. Killed in a firefight in Rafah, Sinwar's demise is Israel's biggest tactical win since the conflict erupted in October 2023. As his body was identified among the rubble in Tel al-Sultan, questions now swirl. How will his death reshape Israel's strategy in Gaza? With Sinwar, the architect of Hamas's bloodiest assault on Israel, out of the picture, Israel stands at a crossroads. While the immediate aftermath brought celebration in Israel, this pivotal moment brings more complex strategic decisions to the table. Will Sinwar's death weaken Hamas, paving the way for ceasefire talks? Or will it embolden the militant group to retaliate with greater ferocity? Can Israel leverage Sinwar's death to broker a ceasefire? Will this embolden Hamas's next generation of leaders? Will Hamas's internal power struggle create an opportunity for Israel to secure the release of hostages still held in Gaza? With Sinwar gone, does the Gaza ceasefire crumble or hold firm? How will Sinwar's death impact Israel's broader regional strategy? Yahya Sinwar wasn't just a figurehead. He was the driving force behind Hamas's most violent operations. He joined the militant group in 1987 and was among its founding members. After serving decades in Israeli prison, Sinwar rose to prominence within Hamas, becoming the leader in 2024 and masterminding a string of deadly attacks, including the infamous October 7th massacre last year. Israel had long sought Sinwar's elimination, viewing him as the mastermind behind Hamas's refusal to negotiate hostage deals or engage in meaningful diplomacy. His death, while significant, leaves Israel with a complex set of questions. What comes next for Hamas? And more importantly, how can Israel leverage this moment to reshape its broader strategy in Gaza? The immediate military victory of killing Sinwar is undeniable. However, the next steps Israel takes will determine the long-term impact of this moment. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who faced intense criticism following the October 7th attacks, has made it clear that this is not the end of the war. For Israel, the death of Sinwar presents both an opportunity and a risk. On one hand, it weakens Hamas's chain of command, potentially opening a window for diplomatic efforts or hostage negotiations. On the other, it could escalate violence if the new Hamas leadership is more ideologically driven or desperate to prove itself in Sinwar's absence. Netanyahu's government now faces a critical decision. Should Israel press its advantage, intensifying its military campaign to further weaken Hamas? Or should it use this moment to engage with international mediators to de-escalate the conflict and rebuild Gaza on Israel's terms. Sinwar's death may weaken Hamas militarily, but it opens up new uncertainties about who will fill the leadership vacuum. While many believe that his younger brother, Mohammed Sinwar, will assume control of the group's military wing, the question of who will lead Hamas politically remains uncertain. The next leader's approach will have profound consequences. A pragmatist could push for negotiations, possibly bringing an end to hostilities and allowing Israel to stabilize Gaza. But a hardliner could drive Hamas into further radicalization, leading to prolonged conflict. Sinwar's death doesn't just affect Hamas. It could have ripple effects across the region, especially with Hezbollah in Lebanon. Hezbollah has engaged Israel in a measured way throughout the Gaza conflict, but the elimination of a key Hamas figure could change the dynamics. Will Hezbollah escalate its involvement, or will the region see a shift in alliances and strategies following Sinwar's demise? Iran and Qatar's continued financial and military support for Hamas also remains a critical factor. Will these backers double down on their support, or will they rethink their strategy now that Sinwar, one of their strongest military assets, is gone? The death of Yahya Sinwar presents Israel with an opportunity to reshape its approach to Gaza, but it also brings new uncertainties. Sinwar played a crucial role in negotiations, often serving as a key figure in establishing communication channels and fostering dialogue. As Israel weighs its options, one thing is clear: this moment is a turning point. With Sinwar gone, does the Gaza ceasefire crumble or hold firm? Whether it leads to peace or deeper conflict will depend on how Israel, Hamas, and the broader international community respond. The opportunity to end the war may now be closer than ever, but so is the risk of escalating violence.